Hey guys, we're gonna move into chapter 3. So we're gonna start learning all about lines and angles. So we do need some vocab. The first vocab word is parallel lines. I think we've heard the word parallel before. So parallel, never gonna touch. But just to put the geometry, because we are gonna have to know the difference between parallel and skew, is parallel lines are coplanar. So that means they are on the same plane. So if you look in this diagram, DA, see that red line? DA should be parallel to BC. And notice they're both on that top plane. So they're both coplanar. They're never going to touch, so you would call them parallel. Skew, same concept. They're still never going to intersect, so do not intersect. So they're similar to parallel, but the difference, the difference is they're non-coplanar. They are not on the same plane. Same plane. So if you look in the picture, they give you the example AB. So we're looking here, AB and CG. So notice AB and CG, they're never going to touch. They're never going to touch, but they're on two different planes. So those would be considered skew. Now, if you want the easy route, parallel will always be heading the same direction. So if you notice here, EA and BF are parallel, they're heading up and down. Same thing here, AD and BC, they were heading the same direction. So parallel will always have that same direction because they are on the same plane. Now these ones, you'll usually see one heading skew, you'll usually see one heading a different direction. So like another example of skew might be, let me try another one. No. Let's say BF and AD. Right, so BF and AD, no matter, they're going to keep going and going and going, but they're never going to intersect. But they are on two separate planes. This one's on that top plane, this one's on that front plane. Okay, so those would be considered skew as well. And then the last one is parallel planes. So we did parallel lines, now there's also parallel planes, so planes that are never going to intersect. So if you're looking at a cube in this picture, if you look at those, the top and the bottom, so the top one is highlighted in yellow, and the bottom one is highlighted in yellow. Those are never going to touch. Those are two planes that are parallel. You could have also said the right one and the left one, or the front one and the back one are parallel. They're never going to touch. All right. So let's try some. Which segments are parallel to AB? All right, so we're here, AB. We want to know what's parallel. Well, CD is parallel. It's never going to touch. EF is parallel. And HG. Again, like I said, that shortcut is they are all heading the same direction. Okay, so it kind of makes it easier to pick out those parallel lines. All right, let's get rid of that writing. Let's look at the next one. And this is what you should be doing. You should be writing all over your pictures. Don't write in your textbook, but have those pictures. If you have a worksheet, draw on it. Which segments are skew to CD? So CD, we don't want parallel, we want skew. All right, so how about BF or AE? So BF is skew, AE is skew. Looks like GF. GF is skew. Or FG, whichever way you want to say it. And HE askew. And that's it. All the other ones are either intersecting it, right? CG, you can't say that because it's touching. Same thing with DH. Can't say that because they're touching. Or parallel, right? So we don't want the parallel ones. All right, let's erase and move on to the next one. What do we have here? What are two pairs of parallel planes? So pairs of parallel planes. How about the top? A, B, C, D. And the bottom, E, F, G, H. Now it did say two pairs, so that's one pair. Let's do another pair. How about front and back? So A, D, H, E, A, D, H, E, and the back, B, C, G, F. Or you could have also done the right and the left. And the last one, what are two segments parallel to plane B, C, G, F? So let's find B, C, G, F first. B, C, G, F is that whole back plane. So we want two segments parallel to that plane. So you can either go up and down or you can go left to right, doesn't matter. So if we do left to right, AD is parallel to that plane. EH is parallel to that plane. And I know it says two, but I want to make sure you know all the examples. You could have also said DH or AE. Those are all parallel to that plane. Again, I know it said two, but I just wanted to make sure you had all the examples. Now we're going to move into transversals. So what is a transversal? It's a line that intersects two or more lines. So here you see line L and line M. They're both intersected by line T, and this is our transversal. So it goes across two or more lines. It could go across two or three. Now we're going to talk about some words here. Interior, so you have your two lines. In between them is considered your interior, and then outside is considered your exterior. So angles 3, 4, 5, and 6 are interior angles. 1, 2, 7, and 8 are exterior. So why do you need to know interior, exterior? Notice it's popping up a lot here. Interior, interior. So let's talk about the first two. Alternate interior. So we know what interior means. Here's my two lines. They're inside. Alternate means opposite sides of the transversal. So 4 and 6 are on opposite sides. They would be alternate interior. 3 and 5 would be alternate interior. Same side means same side of the transversal. So 3 and 6 would be on the same side of the transversal interior, and 4 and 5 would be same side interior. These are also called consecutive interior. And I just want you to have that vocab word in case it ever pops up. We're going to skip over corresponding for a second because those ones are weird. We're going to move on to the exterior. All right, we talked about exterior. 1, 2, 7, and 8 are all exterior, outside. And then alternate. So alternate exterior will be opposite sides of your transversal. 1 and 7, alternate exterior. 2 and 8, alternate exterior. So those are all the ones that use interior, exterior. Corresponding, notice it doesn't say interior or exterior. That's a big red flag there. So if you notice, let's look at angle 1 and angle 5. Angle 5 is interior, angle 1 is exterior. So that should throw up a big red flag that you might be dealing with corresponding angles, is when you have one interior and one exterior. So the way I like to describe corresponding angles is if you were to pick these up, 1, 2, 3, and 4, pick them up and stack them. 1 would go with 5, 2 with 6, 3 with 7, 4 with 8. So if you were to pick these up and stack them, which ones would line up? Okay, they have the same position on the transversal. So here's my transversal. This is top left. This is top left. Top right. This is top right. Bottom right. This is bottom right. So they stack up. But that's corresponding. So let's try naming. Identify the pair of each type of angle. So alternate interior. So here's my two lines. Interior is in between. Alternate means opposite sides. So angle 2 and angle 3. Or you could have also said 6 and 8. Same side interior. Again, another word for that is consecutive. Interior. So 3 and 8. Or you could have said 2 and 6. Corresponding, there's actually 4 pairs to pick from, but let's do, how about 7 and 6? So 7 goes with 6. You could have said 2 and 4. You could have said 1 and 3, or you could have said 8 and 5. And then the last one, alternate exterior. Exterior is outside, and alternate means like 1 and 4. Alternate sides of the transversal, or 7 and 5. Moving on. Now this one, it's kind of hard for me to show you here, but usually when I teach this in class, I always say identify the transversal first by covering up what you don't need. So if you're just looking at angle 1 and angle 5, you don't need all this stuff over here. Cover it up with your hand. And then you'll see your two lines cut by your transversal. Those are alternate interior. So your transversal would be N, line, N, and they would be alternate interior angles. Now, unfortunately, I have to go back and erase all this so that we can do the next one. But cover it up with your hand. That's what I'm trying to show you there. 3 and 6. So again, if you just need 3 and 6, you don't need anything over here. Don't even look at it. And then you see your lines cut by your transversal. So your lines cut by your transversal M. So there's your transversal is M. And these are corresponding, right? Bottom left, corresponding. Again, red flags when one's interior and one exterior. That's when you want to start looking into corresponding. Alright, we're going to erase that again. And last one, angle 1 and angle 4. You might have to tilt your head for this one. Alright, we don't need anything down here. Cover it up. Here's your two lines cut by your transversal. So your transversal is line L. And it looks like they're both exterior, alternate exterior angles. Right, outside, and they're alternate sides of the transversal. Alright, make sure you get your homework done. Bye guys. Make sure you show all your work.